I almost forgot what I was supposed to say. We are live. This is the wood. When you get what raisin?
Wood, it's so good.
That is a fact, Jack.
I don't think
We're here. We got John Morgan's back from his vacation.
Yay.
Dirt's
I had a
here
lot of
with,
fun.
Yeah, Dirt's here with his wavy hair. Raisin's not on camera again.
Woohoo.
And Red Eye's in Australia, as always.
Huh? What?
You don't ever leave Australia.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Surrounded by fucking sharks. And the mango boats, they're just churning up a pretty good fucking wake. It's really hard to get past that, you know.
And the Chinese are building islands around Australia.
Look, they just want to help out by delivering Panda Express by boat. I get it. It's cool. It's, you know, free enterprise. It's what capitalism's all about. Calm down, Gene. Calm down.
I like pandas.
I've never had it, and I probably never would because
It's all right, man. A lot of people shit on it, but it's not that bad. It's just fast food Chinese food.
It's only like 0.01% plastic.
Yeah, well, fuck, you get that in all fast food.
look, China have been really big on exporting plastics in most of their food, like baby milk, vegetables. Doesn't really matter.
See, here's the difference between like a regular Chinese restaurant and Panda Express. A regular Chinese restaurant uses real cats. Panda Express uses plastic cats, toy cats. So there's the difference. No,
In
nothing.
China, they eat dogs in China.
Wait.
I like how John just comes in so fuck up a joke. They dogs in China.
That's what I do best.
He's the anti-joke.
Miss Parker.
What?
I think Red should call Miss Parker. He always calls Miss Parker when somebody does a racism. I think that was a racism.
That's not racist. There's like over 1 billion something people
Who's
in China.
doing?
It's a nationality, not a race, Raisin Girl. Go ahead.
Who's doing the racisms?
I kind of did it by saying.
Gene is doing the racism.
How is that racist? They do eat dogs
Wow.
in China.
I got an empty bowl. Anybody want Ethiopian food?
That's like saying you're being racist towards Americans because you say they eat cheeseburgers.
Y'all just missing my jokes left and right tonight, you motherfuckers.
Blame Raisin Girl.
No, fuck. I fucked it up. John,
Yes.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
To kill itself.
Nope, to get to the idiot's house.
Oh, so Shap's house.
Knock. You know the joke? Knock, John.
Who's there?
The chicken.
I thought you were dead. Go ahead.
Oh my.
Wow.
Well, at least you proved his point.
John Morgan, anti-comedian.
Goddamn, I must be. Nobody's laughing at my shit tonight.
Hold on, I've got something pretty appropriate for what John just did. So give me a second.
Yes, that is.
It baffled me.
Hey.
Someone could fuck up a knock joke. And all
Making
the guys-
anti-jokes is a talent in and of itself, Dirt.
he said, knock. Wait, I fucked up. And I'm like, you didn't even start. That was a good one.
And I had to start with the chicken joke first,
Yeah.
man, to lead into the knock joke, bitch. What the hell's wrong with you?
Too
So
much
Chris
time.
Rock
Short hour.
Chris Rock cracked a joke about Will Smith.
What'd he do? What'd he say? What's
that's
what's the
racist.
zinger?
Apparently, comedian Chris Rock is apparently ready to joke about the slap the actor Will Smith laid on him during the Oscars earlier this year. I don't know what he said. Let me go look see what he said. Anyone who says words hurt has never been punched in the face, Rock said during a set at Madison Square Garden. That is pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which is true. Words
So
hurt
he's
more.
saying that we should punch Will Smith in the face.
No.
You know, John, I was gonna say maybe you're reading too much into that one, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I mean, how you could have read that in any way.
Oh, boss, I want to touch on the subject. There's something happened last week.
My dick's got subject.
No, let's talk a
Touch on.
different subject, touchy
Okay.
subject.
Okay, wait,
Um,
okay.
Touching stuff.
Now, I want to drop a name here and see if it rings a bell. Ghazi.
Yes.
Yes.
Kozo?
Ghazi, also known, one of his pet names, they used to call him Black Hitler.
Mhm.
He was very big in a certain movement, and he
If
used
you,
to
if you
make
don't know who got picture Chris Tucker in Fifth Element.
yes, but way weirder and
Yeah.
and their brain definitely just didn't function normally. Well, they're currently in custody.
Oh,
Really?
There's
Why?
a bit of an investigation. Well, they basically set themselves up. For some reason, he went out into the middle of Middle America and decided that's where he was going to build his ethno state.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it gets far, but it gets better. So he's in a compound or a house or some shit. The police get a call from somebody saying, I'm being held against my will here. Come help me. Police roll up, grab everybody. One person doesn't come out of the house. It's because they've shot themselves in the head.
Oh,
And
my
they
God.
having a forever sleep. But Ghazi's been
Violent.
charged with deprivation of liberty and aggravated sexual assault.
oh.
Yeah. So
Now-
he may be going for an extended stay in one of your finest federal facilities.
He said he's trying to create an ethno state, which is kind of weird because it's like in a lot of his videos, he always had like a bunch of like white orbiters like surrounding him and everything.
Yeah.
Agreeing with all his-
white simps.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
he did.
would those people be allowed in his ethno state?
I don't,
Yeah,
probably slaves or something.
Exactly.
They'd probably.
That's what this dude was all. He was just such a fucking.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
JF was trying to build an ethno state in Antarctica, so he should have built his ethno state right next to Jeff's. Or
They
JF's.
should. They both
Yeah.
should. They both should do that. I agree.
That
They
sounds
both-
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
think they're both idiots. I tell you another idiot. I
Trubisky.
forgot about this motherfucker until today. Until I watched the new Netflix documentary came out about him. The most hated man on the internet. Y'all remember him? Moore. What's his name? Fuck.
Not the documentary maker.
No, he's the one that came out with that website. Are you up? Are you still up or something? He's the one that created revenge porn, basically.
Right.
What was
Reminds
his
me of
fuck-
the
something more. Something more. Think he. What is his name?
what, Alan Moore.
No. Hunter Moore. Hunter Moore. That's his name. Hunter Moore. This dude was he is. He's out there. I get. He's still kind of a sack of shit, but he don't do the stuff he did back then. But this dude was straight up dogs people, everything right down his website, and people worship this fucker. Man, I didn't know it was that bad. I heard about it before, but I didn't know it was like this fucking deep. I never went to that website, not ever once in my entire fucking life. But he had people call him Father.
What?
Yeah, people called him Father. They worshiped this motherfucker.
Sounds like a conventional like cult leader.
And he put this one girl, and come to find out, he went to prison. Because come to find out, he was saying that people were sending him the pictures, and he would just post on the website. So that technically back then, that wasn't illegal. But come to find out, he was actually hacking people's computers and stuff and stealing the photos.
Ugh.
Damn.
And so he ended up going to prison.
Last week we did a episode on like trolls on the internet, and have you ever heard of Isabella Janke?
Sounds familiar.
Remember her, Dirt? She was like the Chris Train troll that tried
Pip
to
knows
convince-
about her. He just doesn't know her by name.
Yeah, she's the one that convinced Chris to do you know what with his mother, Barbara. And she had an earlier plan where she wanted to hook Chris up with this other autistic person on the internet, and then she was going to steal. Yeah, she was going to steal that person out from under Chris, so Chris would kill himself.
Okay, here's the thing about that: people who fucked with Chris like that are shitty people. Because Chris is truly mental.
Yeah, like, and people make the excuse, "Oh, he's high functioning and stuff," and it's like, I think that's a really stupid excuse.
It is because he was high functioning to a point. Because he would have public fucking freakouts and the way, I mean, he high functioning and being able to function is two different things.
Yeah, like the way their brains work is it's like, hey, because he's not a vegetable, it must mean it's okay to like fuck with them. And it's mental gymnastics. I want to bully somebody who's mentally ill or not all there.
I never was comfortable with Chris. Now, I did talk about with Chris once. When it happened with Mom, I did talk about it. It fucked up.
But it's a land seal. Holy shit. You got one of those land seals as well, and it makes noise.
That's a hairy pussycat.
Meow, meow, meow.
That's a land seal. It's not a cat, silly.
It's a fucking cat, man.
Seal. It's obviously a land seal. Look at it. It's looking at you going, what the fuck's that? Is that a walrus? It's looking at you going, is that a fucking walrus? Is it going to pee on me and mark its territory? What the fuck? I'll fight you, you fucking big walrus.
It's trying to strike at Red Eye.
No, it's not. Cats love me. Except the cats that hate me. That's all right. So let's quickly talk about something. Bullying on the internet. Now, when I was at school, and I was a young person, bullying usually involved getting the shit kicked out of you by somebody. Somebody teased you, that was being teased. Verbal, that's teased. But now it's definitely the next generation considers bullying anything. If you say something mean and not nice, that's bullying. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, but it's when
you kids wouldn't have lasted 5 seconds in the 1970s because if you went into the wrong street and the wrong bunch of kids, they'd beat you up.
Well, it's when you say mean things to them where it's bullying. Like when they're mean to other people, it's not bullying because, insert mental gymnastics and insert self-justification here. That's the current generation.
Well, saying something unkind is not bullying, but constantly and that's where it becomes bully.
Well, it's like when you're harassing the other person and you won't leave them alone and you're told to stay away from that kid and you continue to fuck with them. I think there should be consequences there. But I think that, saying something rude to another kid on one occasion, if that's bullying, then everyone's a bully. Everyone's been bullied. Everyone's bullied somebody.
I mean, I'll say mean shit sometimes, but if I just steadily, message people like Red Eye every day, like, gave me in the butt, shit like that. That would be bullshit.
Yeah, but I can just go block.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I know people say that, and I agree.
I can't block your fist when you're standing at the front of my house. And
I agree with what you're saying, and it does seem simple as just block. But for some reason, we have these mental things in us that we're glutton for punishment, I guess, and we keep going back and reading the negative shit instead of like kind of overlooking the negative shit and pay attention to the positive. We pay more attention to the negative than we do the positive.
Yeah,
and,
it's attribution bias that you're describing. Like people tend to, when embarrassing things happen, people tend to assume that people pay more attention to it than what the reality is, even though most people probably forget about it right away. And because you pay so much attention to it, you think other people are much more mindful of it than what the reality is.
Yeah. If you're online, it's like there's been several people on YouTube that I just don't see eye to eye with, and it was just that, you know what I did? There was one in particular, I just went and hit the block button. I ain't heard a peep out of them in over a fucking year. They're probably in this chat right now calling me a fucking dickhead. I don't give a shit because I can't see it.
Stop it, Raisin. Quit calling him a dickhead.
But I
Yes.
do agree with
You-
like Red Eye. I do think like the younger generations are pretty pampered, and it's one
Well,
thing
yeah.
people are talking shit to you in person, but like on the internet when there's just a block button and stuff. Like I grew up with the internet,
Yeah.
and that's something I never got. Like on Facebook, when people would complain about people bullying them on Facebook, it's just like don't go to those pages, just block it, ignore it.
block it. And here's the thing, though: if someone then circumvents your block and creates multiple accounts to go back at you and starts harassing you,
Yeah.
I'll call that targeted harassment. Still not being bullied in my book.
I've only
I'm
ever
going
had
to use.
one person I blocked actually create another account and attach themselves to my social media again. And frankly, I just ignored it. I didn't reblock.
Oh, I've had
I
so many.
literally ignored it, and it hasn't bothered me. So whatever.
Yeah.
I've had multiple people do it, but because I'm pissed so many goddamn people off. I've had so many people come in with different names and on Twitter trying to add me, and it's crazy. But yeah,
I just don't care. I just don't even see them. when
but
they're-
also you gotta understand, you also do have to break down like as older, like me, right? I can handle it better because I'm older, mature. I've seen it, been there, done that. But you take a 15-year-old. They're way more sensitive, and they're not as hardened to the world as we are.
Emotionally immature fucking 15-year-old
Yeah.
people will fucking act up. Like kids can be vicious, mate. I'm not trying to say that bullying doesn't exist. I'm just saying this online shit, it's just like hit the fucking block button and shut the fuck up. Because it is that easy to just stop people, stop going to certain pages. And if you go back, like
I do get with the younger generations, they tend to have I think it's because too much of their social life is online. So to block one person, they still have all these other people that they feel the need to be in contact with, but then they've got
that's also like that's like in real life.
sort of.
Like if you're like you go to a lunch table and like you're hanging out with a group of kids and there's one kid that you don't like, it's like in life you got to deal with being with certain people in a group that you don't like. So if you're like in some Discord server and there's a couple of people there that you don't like, I mean, if they get along with everyone else there and they're friends, and you want to be friends of their friends, it's like you gotta share. Like there are some people out there that are
I get
entitled.
that. It's just some people would seem to intentionally go out of their way to try and make that uncomfortable, and that seems to work on a great deal of people. I don't give a shit. Like I just don't. Like I just won't look for a while, and I'll just let it get old. Most of the time, people who want to be dicks on the internet get real tired of people who just don't respond, and I sort of have that habit anyway. Like I just go dead online for a while. Like I burn out. I literally burn out. And I like, because I've been doing this, like I'll still show up for this, but pretty much like lately I've been in one of those burnout periods. Like I don't answer anything other than to show up here and then I sign off and I'm done. I'm back off in a different world.
Now see, I look at it different too, because somebody like me, especially now here lately again, I have to deal with thousands of fucking comments a day, right? Messages, different comments. So I'm getting messages like, you fat fucker, you're disgusting. And then I'm getting ones that saying that I worship you. So it's like, so I don't look at it as like bullying toward me. I just expect it. It's going to happen. But I'm also toughening up to the world because I'm fucking 44. I've been there, done that, seen all the bullshit. I can understand how a 15 or 16-year-old would take it much different than I would. And I can see how that, and we also, like, how we use words, like, some people say, well, that's not racist, that's prejudice. That's not racism, it's prejudice. Okay. Just say it. I think sometimes we use the word bullying when we mean harassment.
True.
I think that's a lot of times we do that because there is, like what I call target harassment. I think a lot of times people say bullying when they mean that.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know, like the term bullying is just so broad. It kind of lacks meaning because it's like just being a douchebag on a occasion. Like I said, everybody would be a bully. So to me, I really think bullying only is serious when it gets to the point where it's harassment. So to me, I just kind of think of the term bullying and harassment as being like the same term.
I
'Cause
don't.
it's like-
I don't look at it at the same time. I think bullying is like, oh, you're ugly, blah blah blah. I think harassment is when you're literally trying to destroy people. You're trying to destroy them mentally, emotionally, financially, all ways. That's harassment. That's target harassment. And bullying is just being a fucking little douchey dick.
Yeah, because you can't be charged by the DA. Let's just use some American state as the example. The DA can't charge you for bullying, but I bet
can't
you
charge for
there's
harassment.
plenty of laws on the books for targeted harassment.
Yeah, there is.
I bet
Well,
you.
what about like in a schoolyard, like classroom kind of setting? So like, when does it become bullying there? Because to me, it's like it's not bullying until you're following the kid around and like to mess with them and fuck with them. You're going out of your way to target them. So
Well,
like,
bullying
that-
is not good, and when I said bullying, I'm not saying bullying is just cute, stupid. No, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's intimidation, and
Yeah.
it's just it's fear tactics. You're using fear and to like let's just say the big beefy fucking football player walking down the middle of the fucking school hallway, and he bumps shoulders with the nerds or whatever. We'll use that old fucking that bullshit.
I love doing that to kids.
That just the dude just walking right. He's not really targeting. He's just seeing anyone that not in his little clique. You go bonk and just like I'm the fucking big dog bonk. That's bullying. But if he sees a guy and he every day for 3 months walks past him and fucking shoulder drops him and whispers in his ear, "I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you after school, you piece of shit." That's some next level shit. This is just the way I see things. Other people are going to see it a
I
totally
agree.
different way, and I understand and respect the shit out of that.
No,
but-
I agree. That's why I wanted to bring up the point. Like, I think a lot of times we say bullying when we mean the other.
Yeah, and what I want to do too is there's these couple of communities or couple of channels I've been watching. I won't say communities, and they find some lol cows online, and these people are posting some fucking outrageous shit. And when people go into her live stream chats, because she's live streaming her fucking doing this horrendously fucking bad shit, and people are calling her out in the chat, there's actually like this, I don't know what they call themselves, but it's like a little group of people, and they will see these folks in there and go, "You're bullying this poor woman," and then they go and dox fucking people and basically up the ante by a scale of 10 and start dropping names of places, kids, schools. It's like you're the ones that are actually you're saying that these people are coming into this chick's live stream and she's putting this shit on show for everyone, and she's got the chat open. It's like she's opened the door and people are pointing out how bullshit her behavior is. And then when these other simps come in and basically throw money to keep this fucking crazy bitch doing what she's doing, they start targeting the people just giving her shit in a chat and take it into the real world and start. That's the big thing. Keep shit talk online is just shit talk.
Yeah, they're online vigilantes. So I'd say
I swear I thought
what I
you
would
were
call
going to
them.
say taking in the rear end. I did.
Taking me around the butt. Yeah. So, like,
Hey, girlfriend. Love you.
I like to think that I've started to calm down on
Pimpmunk says
YouTube.
hello
And,
and he loves you.
Hi.
so yeah, I try and keep shit online.
Tell me at 16th of your right nipple.
Like, very rarely have I followed anyone out of a YouTube chat and gone into their channels or their Discord and started up shit. I used to do that a few years ago, but I try not to do it anymore because it's like, why be the ass? I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you are. an asshole.
Let's scale that shit back down gradually, so I'm not so much of an asshole anymore.
Yeah,
But
I
don't
totally removed myself from any of that bullshit. But I don't, and that's not like, oh, I'm better than everybody because I just moved on from there in a different area. But I'm not like.
It's a slow motion. These train wrecks are in slow motion, and there's just cars and cars with fuel, and it's just exploding, and there's just shit. It's magnificent. It's like, I can't believe these people like put the worst moments of their existence online and then amplify it to try and get fucking money. Like, if I won't go into deets, but the shit I've seen this chick do in the last week, it's like, are you for fucking real? it's the story is just magnificent. I'll drop a name. Love Notes for TLC. AP's got a fucking two-part special. I think a 3-part special on Late Night with Adonis Paul. Go and check it out if you want, and strap in because it's a fucking ride. Holy shit!
You should.
Yeah, the internet's amazing. It's like people will put their finest moments online and their worst moments and everything in between. It's fucking all out there.
Yeah, you should
God, I
post
love
some
the
of that
internet.
stuff in the PPP Discord, and we can cover it.
Oh no, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, dude. You really don't. It's not a nice place to visit. It's I won't go into deets. It's like, but if you want to check it out, Love Notes for TLC is her channel's name. And wow.
Now, talk about like people oversharing on the internet. Like, what do you think about like kids where it's like they're kind of not old enough to really understand what they're doing when they're posting all this stuff online? And I think like the social media came out when I was in high school and stuff, so I guess I kind of had that opportunity to overshare. But I do see like kids younger than me where it's like they're on the internet in middle school just like sharing all of this like really kind of risque stuff, and it's like I don't know, how much involvement should the parents have when it comes to like overlooking or when it comes to like evaluating what their kids are
A
posting?
metric fuck ton.
Yeah,
That was what I was going to
This-
say.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here and sound like an old fuddy-duddy here, but you know what half the problem is on the internet is parents not policing their fucking kids' activities on the internet. They're allowing these little shits to group up and go and actively do the targeted harassment one. Like, they'll dogpile the shit out of kids. Like, I've heard, and for really dumb fucking reasons. For one of the reasons I've heard kids get bullied at schools is if they join a Fortnite game and you've got a standard skin, you will get bullied at fucking school by your fucking friends
Oh.
because you are a cheap fucking. You haven't bought yourself a fucking.
Bro,
Like, seriously,
Jesus Christ.
Kidding. The kids really have.
this is like wow.
I mean, like, dude, like, come on.
Well, to be fair-
Clowning on somebody's default skin. Like,
Well, to be fair, like when I was in middle school, like you'd have kids cussing each other out over like what game consoles they played. Like, I have Xbox,
well,
it's the console I own, so therefore it's better. And the kids would be going back and forth. And I would like troll.
Used to be clothes when I was a kid. Clothes were a thing when I was a kid, or you push bike, your bicycle. If you didn't have a really good bike, like if you had a Mongoose chrome alloy fucking BMX freestyle bike with pegs and all the fucking trick gear on it, you were a legend. But if you had the cheap push bike from fucking Kmart that was made out of like fucking lead and weighed 3 fucking tons and was just a pile of shit, yeah, that was like a status symbol back then. Was like your clothes and your push bike or your surfboard, things like that. Now it's video game skins. It's like, oh, you poor kids. Quake 3, we used to be able to get free maps, free skins. You buy the base game and then go and download this world of fucking mods and maps and shit. It's just like, now I look at Fortnite and go, they've broken gaming. It's broken. It's broken. And then I cry and go into a rant about Epic for about 3 hours. But we'll bypass that today.
But talking about like kids getting bullied for clothing, and even today, like in a lot of poor cities, like they'll have washing machines and dryers donated to the schools because a lot of kids will skip school because they're showing up there wearing like the same clothes too often throughout the week, and kids are bullying them for it. And that's something where they were investigating, like in Baltimore City, like why are so many kids not showing up to school? And they looked into it. It's because the kids didn't want to get bullied because they didn't have enough clothes to wear.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, even see, low energy's right. Like, because even like I remember being made fun of because we didn't have HBO. My family never had HBO growing up.
Ha!
I with kids all the time for
Crazy,
not
never
having
saw The
HBO.
Sopranos.
Poor fuck.
Yeah.
It's
like- it's like-
It's a status symbol thing, but everybody thought I was cool when I had an Atari when other kids didn't. You know what I mean? Or you were rocking your fucking geeky and television or like ColecoVision. Fuck you.
I got made fun of because I didn't have a house.
We had an Atari and a Nintendo in the house.
Well, there
I
are
had-
kids.
Suck it,
they're-
bitches.
There were kids
ColecoVision for life.
Get out of here with your ColecoVision, you cheap bastard.
Fucking cheap. I could play all the Atari games up your bum. It was a ColecoVision and an
Yeah.
Right
Atari.
above her bum.
the expansion
Well,
module.
where else do you put the cartridges, Pimp? Jesus. Slot them in the cartridge.
Yeah, they were smart with that. You just make the same ones.
Well, this is the thing about gaming. I don't think kids of today would get this. So I had a console, and I'd turn it on, and I could plug in this other bit, so I would play ColecoVision games. And on this ColecoVision game, I had all of the different. So I had Sega games. I had all of these different game companies that split it off. But then I had this expansion thing where you could plug it into this. You pull this slot up in the front like a little door and plug this thing in, and it was an Atari 2600 expansion, and you could play all of the Atari games as well.
Damn, you're talking
So
3 extensions down?
It's kind of like owning a fucking Microsoft Xbox and being able to get, instead of buying a PlayStation, whatever the fuck it is, you go and buy a cheaper expansion thing, you go, and you can just throw your disc in that, and it'll use the Xbox, and it'll have like a serial bus thing where you can plug it into and transfers data over. It's
They
it's
released
madness.
the Atari 5200, which they just it's the first time that they really made a sequel console. So it's like, hey, it's just this giant version of the 2600 with all the same games.
I
But
had
the
it and
game-
it flopped, and I had to buy an adapter so I could pay the 2600 games because they stopped it for 5200.
But people didn't know they couldn't play the 2600 games on the 5200. And the only
You
difference...
just needed an adapter. You had to buy an adapter for it.
Yeah, and like the only difference between the games is that they were slightly better looking, like with the visuals, which you can't even tell a difference today. But it's just like, hey, like we're just going to re-release the same library, like releasing new games on a new system. What's that?
What is that?
Yeah,
No, John, what is it?
I don't know, but they didn't know either. They didn't know how gaming, like marketing, worked. The early
And-
days of gaming.
What we're finding now is that all of the companies went their separate ways for 20, 30 years, and then all of a sudden they've realized they've created these landscapes that are quite limited. And there's a whole bunch of games out there, and then we had this magical thing, cross-platforming, started on the Xbox and PC, and they've been doing that for a long time. And I forget which company was balking at the idea of letting people onto their networks. Either Sony or Nintendo was sort of the...
Nintendo.
And I forget which one it was, but we're getting very close to the point where it won't matter what hardware you got because it's all basically going to be the same shit.
It
Like the
never should have.
PlayStation.
That was stupid fucking franchise bullshit anyway.
Well, I understand why they did it, but it's not benefiting them. They'll sell more games, and they don't make money off the hardware. They make money off software. And
So
it's
I'm
in their
saying,
best interest to open up that fucking client base to as wide as possible, get as many people on board. And
They
so
can still limit things, like have certain, like they did for, what was it, Unreal, where they had different like extra characters depending on which platform you got it on. Like, so you could still like play with other people, but then have things that are exclusively accessible to your console if you really wanted to do it like that. Like, there's ways around it where they could still make their exclusive money, but still let people have the experience they want. Because, I'm with you. I think anybody who's on board for that, as soon as 2 companies are on board for that, the rest of them are out of luck until they get on board.
Yeah, and once supply chain issues fucking start to free up, I think Gabe over at Steam has pulled a fucking God mode move with the Steam Deck. That thing, I want one. Can't buy them in Australia yet. I fucking want a Steam Deck. It's like, I will break free from you, Microsoft, you fucking pieces of shit. And the Steam Deck is the first step. Once that OS gets up to scratch, it's going on my PC, and fucking Windows can fuck off forever. I'm just gonna wait until it's chef's kiss, and then it's going on my machine. But Steam Deck, it's like a Nintendo Switch, but you can play all of your PC games on that motherfucker.
It's a handheld computer, you can do everything on it. Access all your Steam library, all of it.
Actually,
Well,
What is
Microsoft has the Xbox
Deck.
Live account thing for PC,
It's a
so I
handheld
think
thing. It's a Steamy Deck.
I think what will probably happen
And you hold it in
is
your hand.
It's a little bit heavy, but yeah,
You hold the
That's the
Steam Deck. You hold the Steam
Yeah.
Deck in your hand.
firmly with both hands.
With
the
both
Steam
hands.
Deck.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Nintendo Switch. Even playing that shit would like hurt my hands holding it after like an hour.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I've hated Nintendo since the Wii. The Wii was terrible. It's just like it has a hardware out of date.
Innuendo.
It's nothing but shovelware, and then it's like you get to
Those
flick your
never
wrist to make. Yeah, you get to flick your wrist to make a character do something, as opposed to just pressing the B button to make him do it.
Even when they decided they were gonna.
Why is this so sexual?
It's the Nintendo innuendo, man.
John held the Wii in his hand.
All right.
John
Listen,
did the Wii.
They got flick
The
it.
Nintendo Wii Wii.
He's
The
got flick it.
Steam Deck has got a Zen 2 AMD CPU, so that's basically fucking what I've got in my machine right now. It's just a bit of fucking gear, and it's less than $1,000 apparently. So still can't fucking even reserve one in Australia yet. So if I get some money together, I may have to talk to one of my American friends and get
Don't
one.
have
Because
any friends in America.
all right, someone in America that I'll pay to be my friend briefly to send me a Steam Deck.
Gotta make this
That
happen for you.
better? Is that better,
But I
Mr.
think,
TikTok superstar? Huh?
What we'll probably see with gaming is you'll probably see a lot more consoles, and it will be something like with like Netflix, HBO, like streaming services. You'll just have services like with Steam and stuff where you have all the games available, and
I
you
think
can.
they're already trying that. Somebody.
Yeah, well, that it seems like that's the direction it's going in. So it's like you'll have a Steam Deck. Like Amazon released a gaming thing. Like it's this console platform where you have your Amazon account and the games that you buy. So I think you'll just have an account with certain games, and there will be games exclusive to like your Nintendo account. And I think what will happen is you'll just eventually have hardware where you can just install the Nintendo app, the Microsoft Xbox Game Live app, the Steam app, and you'll just have your games through those different apps.
Well, the exclusivity thing's calmed down a lot thanks to Gabe again from Steam, because Epic were pulling some shady shit. So what Gabe did was come up with a new rule, and it basically says you release your game on another platform, that's cool. If you don't release it within a certain time frame on our platform, piss off. And no soup for you, which means they're going to lose a massive amount of fucking sales potentially. So that's kind of fixed the whole. I haven't seen any of the latest PC titles being held on fucking Epic for a year like they did with fucking Borderlands 3 and fucking MechWarrior 5. Fuck you, Epic. I'm sorry, I definitely went on my thing again. God, I hate that company.
Epic, they made the game with the chainsaw guns.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm just glad that they've gotten. Yeah, that's cool too. Still don't have an Epic account. Actually, I tell a lie. I do have an Epic account. I haven't logged into it in about 3 fucking years.
Come on,
I have
you
an
can
Epic.
play Rocket League.
Played under a tournament.
That's the only ones I play at that.
Yeah, of course you should get a Steam Deck, Pimp. Once you.
I already steamed my dick earlier.
Oh, you should show people your new little thing that you got, little buzzy fly aroundy thingy, and tell people about that.
Well, it's.
You should tell people
I don't know
about it.
I don't know if I can.
Would they be upset if you
I
did it
don't
here?
know. I don't.
Well, you should contact them and ask them if it's okay to do so. So we can do it next week then, if it's okay.
Yeah. Basically, I got a sponsor, and I've got this
Thing, it's an item.
I got an item that I'm gonna be making a video on TikTok for, and I don't know. If
You don't want to just spoil us, yeah, all right. So you want to
I
do
don't
its
know
debut
if
on the TikTok. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's a
He
good
pleads
idea.
the fifth.
Yeah. No, just do it on once the cat's out of the bag though. Maybe next week you can talk about the item.
Yeah, then I'll probably use it around here.
Maybe there's more than one item too. Maybe.
Using it.
Maybe.
It's a vibrator.
Dirt. The folks over at Anal Dominator 5000 are not going to be fucking happy with us. We've just fucking
Expect a letter in
spoilers.
the mail.
The
Yeah,
Dominator's out of the bag.
Yeah, it's. At least we didn't let slip about the new model, the Rip Snorter. It's all shit. Whoops.
No, why would you talk to Rudy?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
No, Rudy's been a troll of mine for years.
Maybe Rudy was going to behave.
No, Rudy. I see Rudy. I kick his ass out. Rudy's
boy,
not-
Rudy.
Rudy's bad people. Rudy's one that goes around and he goes around other people's channels and like, you know, Pimpmunk did this, Pimpmunk did that, bullshit stuff. But it's been, I don't, you know, I don't want no drama or nothing like that, so I just.
Drama.
Sounds like he's making a lot of fair points.
Yeah. Yeah. He does.
Fucking some, yeah. I may have caused a little bit of shock. I don't know. But someone mentioned one of our old friends and tried to drag them into some drama that they had absolutely nothing to do with, and I've seen it pop up on someone's community page. So I've just popped in and said, "Hey, listen, such and such. I know this individual, and it's not the individual that you think it is. So I advise you to fuck off." And I may have put "fuck off" in caps and just to emphasise it. Didn't hear back from them. I was kind of hoping it's like, oh, maybe I've started a little bit of a beef war, but it's like, no, they just ignore me. I'm like,
Well, one reason and to be honest with you, just to stop it before it started, because I know he was starting some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I just totally avoid it, and I'm gonna
no,
like,
I understand.
yeah,
It's cool, man.
I want to touch dirt with butter.
He is.
I got into Baby's first Twitter fight today because I saw Jeff Holiday was arguing with some dumb lady about abortion in the Bible. And, it's just crazy because you can use all sorts of translations to justify just about anything from the Bible, but that's about it. I had Baby's first Twitter beef today. That was fun.
Oh God.
Baby's first Twitter beef.
They accuse you of being a misogynist or a bully or any of those
No, they
things?
just said I was stupid because I didn't know how translations worked, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I just gave up. It's like, dude, whatever. Like, I know that there's other translations, but let's not get into that because your translation is better than my translation, and you're obviously way smarter and way more able to read 1,000-year-old ancient fucking scripture.
Yeah, there was this one subreddit.
Standard. You just don't understand.
Yeah, there's this one subreddit drama I got involved in. It's called Pink Pill Watch, and they were talking about how like the term neckbeard is like what's the term? Misandry? Like it's sexist terms for men. And they're talking about getting rid of the subreddits that make fun of neckbeards and everything. And then it's like, well, why are you defending like people who are neats and stuff? And they're like, well, what about women who are housewives that are allowed to just work from home and leech off of men? And it's like, well, like usually they're like taking care of kids and stuff, and that's kind of a job in and of itself. And it's like taking care of kids isn't a job. It's like, okay,
yeah, all right. All right. I will say the following: if the people responsible for these little gems of wisdom had to actually raise children, society would collapse, and we would cease to be the dominant species on this planet because, if neckbeards had to raise our young, they would perish.
Well,
it's as simple as that.
They don't like people making fun of other
years and then have a fucking 3-year-old start having a goddamn meltdown in the middle of public, and you gotta leave after you spend $100 nowadays going to do something. And you tell me, tell me how goddamn easy it is to raise these little bastards.
I mentioned how I think that the nuclear family is like toxic, like expecting everyone to move out when they're 18, and it's only your spouse.
What is wrong with society? Everybody's like, why is society breaking down so quickly? Because we've destroyed community, we've destroyed the fucking family unit.
Yep.
We have no social connection anymore, so we're all these individual fucks that don't give a shit about anything about what we feel like at the end of the day. It's bullshit.
The white picket fence culture. And I think that around most of the world, it's like having your parents, your grandparents, your aunties, your uncles, they all own the same plot of land, and the family kind of just owns that estate. You grow up, you adopt that estate and stuff. It adds for more stability. But there's a difference between like contributing to a household and trying to invest in a career and invest in learning a trade and living in your mother's basement. Like there's a difference between the two. So it's like they're like when people are making fun of like neats and stuff, there's a difference between having issues with employment because you're in an area with a poor job market and just being lazy. And and people that are neats, they make up like 0.01% of the population. So the overwhelming majority of people are perfectly capable of like not being neats.
Yeah, no, Billy's got a good point. It's like we go to great lengths to avoid fucking that happening. And
Because
it's like
a big responsibility.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Oh, I also saw a really interesting video. So it's from this she's getting on in a year, so she's probably around 60 years of age, and she was one of the OG activists for gay and lesbian rights. And she's got.
I'm joking.
No, dude, she's got this fucking hot take that's doing the rounds. Well, her hot take is the following. She says to the camera, she says, "If I had known what I know now," and she goes on about how, and these are her words. This isn't my opinion. I'm saying what she said. She basically has said, if I'd known what I know now, I wouldn't have fought for gay and lesbian rights, because it's opened the door to basically CMs attaching themselves to that and trying to legitimize their movement. And I've seen some crazy fucking vids on Ruin Leon's channel, which is a great channel. I don't know if anyone's ever seen him, but Ruin Leon does some really good stuff on this. And he's pretty, he tries to be down the middle and just present facts and let you make up your own mind. But she's basically said, I regret doing all that activism because what I'm seeing now is horrifying. I mean, she basically went so far as to say they're allowing drag queens in near kids to groom kids and shit. And then there's some vids and some shit, and it's just like, oh, damn. Uh-oh. And it's just that to hear one of the OG activists come out with that, it's just like, holy fucking shit, society is kind of like not in its healthiest state right now. When these people that fought for these rights are saying, I kind of regret fucking doing it. It's like, fuck me.
It's
I
crazy.
feel like
that's
as much
statement.
of a shame as that is, like, because like that's an unforeseen consequence. I feel of such a thing. I just hate that someone who fought so hard for rights for people would regret it for any reason. Like just because some shitty fucker comes and tries to tag along and become a remora on the shark that is your rights movement. I don't know. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's the problem with most movements, though, man. They start out with beautiful reasons, and then some dickhead comes along and tries to fuck it up.
They're extremist on all ends, all sides. Like, what do you think with like toxic feminists? Like, don't you think a lot of feminists are just sexist towards men? They just hate men.
Yeah.
But if you mention that, you're automatically a sexist.
I don't give a fuck. Well, the thing about it, I don't know if here's the thing. I don't know if they actually hate me. And I don't know if but a lot of these people in all kinds of movements, and agendas, not just that one, they get so wrapped in the agenda, it controls them. I mean, it's like it's sucked in their brain so much, and it's just all they think, breathe, and eat, sleep. And they don't give a fuck about nothing else, and they will destroy anyone in the name of their agenda. Mm-hmm. And it's sad. It's sad, but it's true.
Don't agree with me? You're the enemy.
Yeah.
Off with your head.
Yeah. It's a sad truth, but it's the way it is. And I don't know if it's, like I said, I don't know if it's actual hate for the male genitalia, or if it's just their agenda is so embedded in them, that's all they fucking see. They're blinded by their agenda. So I don't know. Yeah, and that's just not with that crowd. That's with all crowds.
Yeah, no, that's right. Absolutely. In Leon's video, he points out that pick your thing, whatever you want to make that group about, and you will get people coming along and attaching themselves to that group that are outliers, trying to legitimize something that's just not cool. And at the moment, it seems that maps are trying to attach themselves to LBGQ, right? And that, no, flat out, no. Society, no, is not going to go along with this shit. And now you've got this OG activist coming out saying, if I knew that what I did was going to lead to that, I would have tapped out and gone, nope. And it's just like, that's where we're at. And it's like, maybe a conversation needs to be had in the wider community about people's thoughts on it.
People who are like maps.
Conversation about why society still has such a stigmatism against gays that they would even agree that that kind of a thing is approachable and comparable. That's sick.
And it gives the stupid people who say that shit, like, you know, what's next, pedophilia? It gives them an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
two separate issues.
Close to the same thing. Like in their mind, when someone says that shit to me, all I hear is that you continue to think that gay people are sexually deviant. You must to continue to lump them in a group like that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What about people who are like maps that recognize it and they don't support the action?
I don't know why people don't use fucking the internet anymore. Nobody uses maps.
Oh yeah.
MapQuest?
Yeah, GPS is where it's at, John. Come on, man.
Well, I'm saying, like, people in that situation, like, if somebody is sexually attracted towards children, and like, don't they have like operations like to like be sexually like you can get
castrated?
Yeah, like I mean, do you think somebody should do that if they realize that they're a map or something? I mean, like,
So
this is the problem. If somebody
plenty of cases where people have gone and getting themselves chemically
castrated.
And there are other, I would assume there are some others that have taken the next step and gone, because if they recognize that it's like, this is a problem. Like, for instance, I had a really interesting conversation with Galen because I used to have a very hard stance towards any maps. It was like, yeah, the cost of a 44 Magnum bullet, that's the answer to that problem. I'm no longer of that opinion, though, because here's the crazy thing. I was talking to Galen, and Galen gave me an example. He said, what if you're in a car accident? You're a heterosexual male, you know, happy relationship with an adult female. You have a car accident, you sustain a really bad head injury, and you wake up and you recover from the physical injuries, but then to your absolute fucking horror, you find yourself thinking about kids in the wrong way. And you go to the doctor and go, what the fuck? And it's because you've got brain damage in your that's actually happened to some poor bastard where he's fucking had a massive head trauma, and then something in his brain's just gone out of alignment with what he used to be, and he went straight to the doctor and he went.
There's a well-documented study about a man who had a tumor, who had peed tendons, had it removed, and they went away. It started to come back, and he immediately went for a scan, and the damn thing was growing back. And there are centers of the brain that if they're triggered,
it's true. I agree. I'll keep that fucked up brain motherfucker away from kids, though.
I get wanting to be safe, but when you stigmatize something so much that no one can talk about it openly, like, what if somebody's going through something, they understand that they have something wrong, like they should feel comfortable being able to go get help. I feel like that should be something. If it's
don't go to Walmart.
So many problems with this in society, why not have centers for people who feel these kind of urges where they can go and actually talk to someone? Now, it would have to be extremely, because you know what I mean? Like, people would get attacked going in and out, so it would have to be able to be integrated, I would think, with regular psychology, because otherwise they'd get targeted. For sure.
Don't you think that?
Billy Boy, wait a minute, John. Real quick. Billy Boy Blue said $10 is for my man Pimp, so I ain't been around more. Love you, brother. Love you too, man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna take a shot for you, Billy Boy. This Kraken for old time's sake.
Oh yeah.
The Kraken.
I
He
keep
does for
noticing
6
Billy
more
Boy
minutes.
disappears in like my discords and stuff, and I keep looking at the discords, and it keeps turning out that he gets banned for some reason. So I got to figure out who's banning him.
Dirt.
Discord, how do you not know?
Just have a look at the moderation log.
Yeah, I got to do that.
God, John.
And it should come up with whoever banned them next to wherever they were banned. So just look through the chat list, and you should see whoever tagged them with a ban.
Go in mod chat and just ask. If you trust somebody to be a mod, they should own that shit if they did it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't
If
banned
they
anyone
don't,
on
you
your
have to
channel.
look it up in the fucking log, then you fucking.
I think it was
unmod
Red
them.
Eye.
No, I haven't been banning. I haven't banned anyone in ages. I timed a dude out in one of Shab's chats today because he was annoying everyone. But I don't hand out the bans. That's just.
I don't think
It used to be.
It was one of my sock accounts.
Used to be thoroughly entertaining, but it no longer entertains me. So, plus it was
We got
pissing off a
5 minutes.
shitload of people. So that's not good.
We got 5 minutes left
You got 5
5
minutes.
minutes.
5 minutes to what?
to the end of the goddamn show.
Show you my
Get
wiener.
this all
It's
out.
like 1/12 of the show left.
Oh, Mr. Fractions.
Now it's 4 minutes. It's just slipping away.
Yeah.
Couldn't just give us a percentage, could you?
Remember when you were like 5 years old and like 5 minutes seemed like it's forever? And then you're like not 5 years old anymore and you're like 25 years old and it's like, wow, 5 minutes is like nothing.
I remember looking up at a light switch and getting all upset because I thought I would never be able to reach it.
Stupid
And she
lights.
still can't.
Now it's like all the years go by and you're just like, I almost forgot that I couldn't reach that once.
She still can't.
Well, now she knows how to use a footstool.
Yeah. Step ladders are a thing.
I know, I have to use them to get to the top shelf in cabinets.
You ever notice that the short bitches are always the fucking, those short women are always the fucking feistiest goddamn.
Fire.
Yeah, the short ones are always the fucking fight.
Yeah, they got little T-Rex arms, so they got to be like all fiery and shit. It's like,
They feel inadequate. It's the same thing. Like short men are worse than short women in that regard.
Well, I
Just
don't
being all
think it's-
feisty and
I think
bitchy.
men may feel that, but I don't think the women actually feel that. I
Who's
think
the
short-
one dude, the bagel guy, who was like freaking out and stuff, and he's like this short dude, and this one guy tackled him. And they're
Oh
always
yeah, I know you're talking about. I seen that video.
yeah, he's flipping out about women wouldn't date him or some shit.
Yeah.
Is that the
Going
dude? It's
crazy,
like-
Well, I think it was
yeah.
just people smiling, and he thought that in all the videos I saw, he was getting mad at other dudes for just like, making fun of him for being short.
Well, there was one that Red's talking about. Though I did know the video Red's talking about, where he's yelling with some black girls. I think it was.
Yeah, he's just I can't remember who, but he starts going. Women like that. It's like little fucking psychotic garden gnome flips out because he ain't getting his dick sucked. Basically, it's fucking hilarious.
Little man
Everyone's just-
syndrome is a thing, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone's
it
just
is.
looking at him going, "Geez, poor little garden gnome can't get it. Fucking, he's knob polished. Poor little bugger. Look at him. He's all angry. Look at that pent up rage. It's like, "Argh, someone should hire a prostitute and help that man."
Yeah, but speaking of little man syndrome, remember the York Master when you mentioned him having little man syndrome, and he's like, "I'm not little. I'm 7'1". It's like, okay,
You are
that's
Shaquille.
become that's
He's big
become a
as Shaq.
meme on our channel.
Wow, 7 foot one.
Yeah.
God damn,
Yeah.
you're a fucking giant.
He's a gentle giant.
Has he learnt to draw hands properly yet? That is the big
No.
fucking question. No. Keep trying, dude. You'll get there eventually. You'll nail it one day. I have faith in your ability.
He didn't
He's
draw
too
his fucking
busy.
hands. Those are a Google asset rip PNG that he flipped around and put on his character.
Well, his brother has a PhD in art, and his brother apparently made that reverse
PhD?
hand image.
I'm
Yeah.
going to reverse Google search a picture of those hands and find the real hands and
Yeah.
see that they're stolen hands.
Oh, please do that. That'd be so fucking funny. Oh, he's ripped this straight off the fucking Unity asset store.
No, but he's too busy like trying to analyze the really complex like backstory and lore of Kirby and Ninjago to fix the
That's
hands.
fine. I got no problem with him doing that. It's the other stuff that he was doing where he wasn't getting his fucking shit straight and spraying up. He was like a bullshit fountain. It's like, you ever gone past a public park and you see those really big high pressure things that are spraying like half an acre of fucking goddamn grass? That's what he was. But he was spraying shit everywhere, right? I don't care. Like, do your Lego. I've got a fucking Saturn V Lego thing and I did the space shuttle and the fucking goddamn International Space Station, which, by the way, the Russians said, "Niet, we're leaving. 2024, they're out." The fucking Russians are bailing out of so the space war is coming because they're building their space station. The Chinese will have their space station.
Force.
The Indians, I think, are probably going to have one up there soon, and we'll probably lob enough Foster's cans up there where we can shoot someone up on the back of a rocket and then get them to grapple onto the back of the Foster's cans and lob other Foster's cans at the other space stations, and that will be our space warfare.
Dude, we're going to have a war called Space War, and then we're going to have a Space War 2.
We're going to have a moon base.
Yes, he wants to go to war right now.
Jesus
Why isn't
Christ,
Nelson
the
a
size of
TikTok
it.
star yet, Pimpmunk?
Do what, buddy?
Why isn't Nelson a TikTok star yet?
It's not. His name's Yeeterus. Jesus, people, get it right. Yeah, he was yeeted out of a car. That's Yeeterus.
That biggest motherfucker like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched him climb up on your shoulder last time I was on, man. I was like, oh my God, he just popped up.
His proper name is Yeeterus the Dominator because he's going to be just like, he's going to be one of those dogs where he'll walk up to you and jump up and he'll put his paws on your shoulders and he'll be looking straight in your fucking eyes.
Before we go, I got something to tell you. It's so fucking funny, dude, that he did the other day. You know, I buy his favorite toys are these ball on the ropes things, you know. But he destroys the ropes. Like, he destroys it. And so it only lasts so long. But he had one, he was laying on his belly, right? And he had the rope, and he was just kind of slinging the damn ball. And the ball hit him right in his nuts.
Oh, God.
And he jumped up and looked at me like I did it. Like, what the fuck?
He stood up quick. Now, he was embarrassed. He was like, did you see that shit?
And he looked at me like I did. He's like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't do it, man. It's funny. It was funny as hell, though.
Yeah, I've seen a video of a brown bear. I think it was somewhere, and it's got hold of this bit of pipe or something, and it's going and it's reefing around, and it does that. Except someone's videoed it, and it has this bear like flailing around with this bit of what, and it just whacks itself right in the balls, and you see the bear just drop to the ground and go. Oh!
I have seen that.
That was so fucking funny.
Have you seen the video of the dog that's fucking with the turtle and the turtle bites his tongue?
No. Oh.
Yeah, and they zoom in on the dog's face. It's like,
He probably you can throw him for a loop for sure.
Sound fun.
but yeah, it's fucking. It is funny though. But yeah, I laugh. I wish I had a video. Nelson did himself in the balls.
I was just watching this one video of this guy creating this makeshift trap to trap the birds outside his house. It's like, why are you doing that? It's like, that's all the comments. They're like, what the fuck?
He wanted to trap the birds.
I
Well,
saw
it's
this
like-
shit. Sorry.
Go ahead, dude.
No, it's a complete derailment. You first.
Well, he was just like doing it to pet the birds and stuff. So it's like he was just doing it to
What
trap
the
the birds
fuck?
in order to pet them. The birds are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Stupid. Oh. So I don't know how real this is. It might have just been a dude taking a picture of ladybug colonies, but apparently, like, it's some dude with a bunch of money, and he's released like swarms of ladybugs in like New York City, and he plans to do it in other areas. Like he documented it on TikTok. It's like one of the first times I used TikTok and actually scrolled through it for more than 2 minutes. I saw this shit. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, so I don't know. It might be fake, but it sounds like somebody might be dumb enough to do something like that. Because he's calling it. Look up hashtag ladybug raid.
Hashtag.
Hashtag ladybug raid.
All right, guys, it's time to go. Before we leave, I do want to give a big, giant shout out to Red Eye's Penis.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, this
What?
here's
Why?
to you, Red Eyes.
Red Eye has a penis?
Wow. I forgot I had that thing. Thanks, dude. Hey, little dude, what's happening?
It's been tucked away in there for years.
Just
Bye,
Everybody
guys.
deserves their moment of recognition.
Thank you, Vlad. We appreciate that. Also, if you want to catch it, I will be live later on TikTok. So
Ooh, it's got dust on it. How did that get there?
it's got dust on it. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Hey, Raisin.